And it all comes down to this. This is Corey, and this is the O The Anthem podcast.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's Rob. Welcome to episode 242 of the O The Anthem podcast. We are broadcasting live from the hashtag OTA LA studios, high above the 110 freeway in beautiful downtown Los Angeles, California. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you for following us on Spotify, on iTunes, on Google Play Podcasts, whatever and wherever you get your podcasts. Greatly appreciated by us. You can also find us on Facebook.com/O The Anthem, at O The Anthem on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, or not Snapchat. I keep saying that.
Twitter and Instagram.
Twitter and Instagram, and the listener line, 443-219-7595.
What's the number again?
443-219-7595. You have to excuse us because we're both patiently waiting for the results of this Monday Night Football game.
Only 3 minutes left.
Yes.
And both of our fantasy football games are... one of my fantasy football games is in the flux. The other one I lost by 46 points. Thank you, Christian McCaffrey. I hate you very much. Anyway, so this football game, not the most interesting part of our Thanksgiving Day weekend, though. Huh, Corey?
No, not at all.
Big weekends. What did you get into this weekend?
Well, the most important thing is that Brendan came down to visit. Brother Brendan.
Who is it that came down to visit?
He took a flight down from San Francisco on Thursday. Not Thursday. What is it? Wednesday. Wednesday is the day that Brendan came down. And, yeah, it was pretty good. It's some turkey. That's my Brendan impression, just in case anybody's wondering.
Anybody who hasn't been listening to the podcast
if
for
I
a
was
while.
struggling for a minute, like, if it sounded like all my words were very articulate and very planned, it was for that reason.
And I saw that Rachel got you out of the apartment
Yes.
in a button-up long-sleeve shirt
Yeah.
on the west side of Los Angeles.
Yeah, I know.
Which only means that Brendan must be here. There's no other reason why all of those things would be true.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, Brendan was the one who said, let's go to Santa Monica. And I was like, okay. Usually I just need a reason to go to Santa Monica.
Yeah.
And a reason that doesn't include me being there at, like, 6 o'clock. You know, like,
Right.
I just don't want to, like, it's pretty well known here in Los Angeles that if you live on the west side and you're inviting somebody who lives on the east side to hang out,
Or downtown. 'cause
or
we're not on the east
downtown.
side. Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, we're more east of the west side though. That's
Sure. Yes.
Anywhere east of La Brea, I guess,
Okay.
is I would consider the east side for this purpose.
Oh, that's real far west for you. Anyway, but okay, sure. Sure. La Brea?
Yeah.
La Brea is like I could throw a rock and hit the west side from La Brea. It's not that far.
Right.
We're getting real local. Real local in this discussion. Anyway, yes. So anybody who's on the west side knows
Yeah.
that you don't invite people.
It just makes it like it always seems like people were like, hey, come over to my place for dinner at 6:30 on the west side. And I'm just like, nope.
I'm going to have to leave my house at 2:45. No, thank
I'm
you.
not trying to do all that.
No, thank you.
I'm not trying to make all these extra steps.
Yeah.
I mean, I like you, just not that much like you.
Right, yes.
But it was actually, this weekend, it was great because everyone left L.A.
Right.
for the Thanksgiving Day holiday.
As we've talked about, nobody actually is from L.A. So during Thanksgiving and other holidays like it, people leave the city of Los Angeles and go elsewhere, like I did. Flew to El Paso, Texas.
The
I have to
Windy
say,
City.
That's exactly right. Did you know El Paso, Texas, elevation 4,000 feet? So not quite the mile-high city, but pretty high up, what we would call the high desert here in California, where it gets very hot in the day, very cold at night, and at a high altitude. But it was nice, and we got to see some family and got to meet new people and dog bites and stories that will live forever. I mean, just generally, it was an interesting weekend. And I have to say, I've spent a lot of time making fun of Texas. Texas is a place that it should be made fun of.
Yeah.
I mean, frankly, let's just say it should be made fun of. But you can buy 60 acres. That is a 15-minute drive from downtown El Paso for $50,000.
Yeah.
And I said, say what? Like 60 acres for $50,000. I couldn't get that in Maryland. I definitely couldn't get that in California. That's a hell of a deal.
You can barely get 1/6 of an acre for $50,000.
I don't think you could get 1/6 of an acre. I feel like I couldn't get an acre of air in a building for $50,000. just the right to build a condo there.
Yeah.
But so it was interesting.
It's like that time when we went to Vegas for Dirty 30.
Yes.
And we were just like chit-chatting with the cab driver because I don't think Uber was there in Vegas at the time.
No, it wasn't actually.
I think we actually took a real cab.
Yeah.
And we were in the cab and we were just sort of like, bullshitting. And we were just like, so you live in Vegas? And he's like, yeah, I live, just a short walk away from the Strip. And it's just like, oh, what's your rent look like? He's like, it's a little bit high. I mean, it's a 2-bedroom, and I think we're spending like off the Strip.
Yeah.
2-bedroom, and it's about like $900 or something like that. And we're like $900 each. He's like, no, $900 for the whole thing. I'm just like, what?
All right then.
Just like I could shove so many people in that place.
Yeah. So anyway, Texas, wide open, and everything was very cheap. And I didn't see as many guns as I thought I would. Everybody has them, but they don't actually take them out.
Just keep them on the lowdown.
Yeah, like in West Texas, it's like, oh yeah, now I got a gun safe. It's there. I just don't have them. People in Socorro, which is actually where I was, not El Paso. I was in Socorro, Texas. Keep animals in the backyard. I had a horse. If anybody follows me on Instagram at Robert and Cheek, you would have seen a picture of a horse that I stumbled into when I went out the back door to get some fresh air. And I'm like, oh, there's a horse here.
Hello, horse.
Yeah. There's a dog in the house. Hey, dog, do you want to come out to the back? Oh, wait, there's a horse back here. This is weird. Yeah, so people just keep goats and horses and cows in their backyard. I
drove through Texas once.
Yeah.
Like on the way. I mean, like I've been there here and there for different things, but I never really got to explore. The most I've been able to like sort of explore Texas was my drive back from film school.
Yeah.
In 2013. And all I could think to myself is just like, God, it must be intolerable here because there's so much space and it's just like you're so far away from everything.
But if you're close to it,
it's sort of got the same. I mean, like in Maryland, at the very least, I could say to somebody like, like I could meet somebody new and be like, "Where do you live?" And almost anywhere where they say is going to be within charitably 2 hours from where I live.
Yes.
Like, there's no way that you could. With somebody in California, I could say, where do you live? And they could live all the way up near Oregon.
Yeah.
And it could be like a 15-hour drive.
Yeah.
Or you could be like, oh, I'm in El Paso. And it's like, where do you live? Dallas. And it's like, oh, okay, so that's fucking 7 hours away or 8 hours away.
But again, that's like California. California's a big state.
Yeah, I know.
You
but
can meet somebody. Like, or somebody could say, where do you live? Oh, I live out in San Gabriel. All right, 15 hours. That's cool. That's a long drive. Sure.
Yeah.
But, that's what they were talking about. People that they have family in Houston, they have friends in Houston. It's an 8-hour drive. Sometimes you make the 8-hour drive. But I mean, for us, that's like Ocean City to. We went to Detroit in 8 hours. We drove to Detroit in 8 hours.
Yeah,
that's like all of the Eastern
for
Seaboard.
A special occasion.
I know.
We went to Detroit on a special occasion. We didn't go there just for the fun of it.
Would I live in the middle of Texas? No. El Paso is the third largest city in Texas.
Is it?
Yes, if you include all the metroplex, because by that definition, Dallas-Fort Worth is a single metroplex.
But it's two separate cities.
No, yeah, two separate cities, but a single metroplex.
Yeah,
and then the El Paso, Socorro, Juarez metroplex, and the Houston metroplex.
It's bigger than Austin, though.
Yes.
Really?
According to our host, yes, the largest city in Texas.
So I feel like Austin was number 3,
followed
by maybe San Francisco and then El Paso.
San Francisco
or San Antonio.
Yeah, it's
what
also.
Was I thinking?
It's also the only major Texas city in mountain time, which we figured out because I set my clock forward manually, and then had to set it back another hour because I went too far forward. But it was interesting, and I felt like I should be the guy who gets a hat and boots. Felt like that was going to be the thing I was going to do. It's like I'm kind of the person who does
I do
that,
like
right?
that whenever you go somewhere, you automatically start figuring out how you're going to acclimate to this place,
Yeah. Well, my traveling partner wore her boots to the airport, which seemed like a bad idea in my mind. Not the worst thing. We took to the airport, but that's a different.
That's a
different
story.
subject.
That's a story for personal or private conversation.
Yeah, that's a friendly story. Friends only story. And then did not wear her boots the entire time we were actually in Texas. Just on the plane.
So just to clarify for the podcast audience,
Yes.
because I don't want them spreading your El Paso lies.
Sure.
Number 1 is Houston, as to be expected. Number 2 is San Antonio. Number 3 is Dallas. And then I guess if we're including the Arlington part of it,
Yes.
then Dallas, Arlington would, Dallas, Fort Worth, Arlington, which is all part of the same one.
Metroplex. Yes.
Yeah. Would technically probably eclipse, that would eclipse Houston.
Yeah, it's number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm saying Austin is 4th, and then Fort Worth is 5, and then El Paso is 6.
So El Paso becomes 3 if you bump Arlington, Dallas, and Fort Worth.
Just Fort Worth. Fort Worth and Dallas together, you're making 3. Austin would be 4, and then El Paso would be 5.
Okay, 5. So 5.
If you're not splitting all these things up.
Anyway, it's a very large place, very nice place. Everyone should visit El Paso. I got to see a stretch of the border wall, which was interesting.
What's the 26th biggest city in Texas?
Texarkana.
No, it's Denton.
Denton, Texas.
I thought it'd be funny if you left Denton for Hollywood and then went from there to Denton, Texas.
What major screenplay or movie takes place in Denton, Texas?
I don't know.
Trivia.
What is it?
The Rocky Horror Picture Show
Oh,
takes
yes.
place in Denton, Texas. Yes, indeed. Anyway, so I did not get boots. I did not get a hat. Talking about making a trip down to the ranch, down to the
19 seconds left to score 4 points, Tennessee. Don't let me down. They will.
Unfortunately, Houston's on the field, so it's not gonna. I think we're both gonna be out of luck on this one. So that's unfortunate. We both lost this week. Unfortunately for me, it means that I am going in still first in the playoffs. I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure that's it for me.
Yeah.
Assuming I might have to do one of those like, all right, so every single matchup has to go down this exact way for me to win.
Anyway, so we're talking about maybe going to the ranch in Sonora, going to the.
Our fingers crossed for some point adjustments.
Yeah, maybe some point adjustments.
If 1 point is all I need to sway this thing.
Anyway, thinking about going down to the Arizona family ranch at some point. Maybe not for New Year's, but at some point soon. Maybe I'll get a cowboy hat and a pair of boots down there. If I'm gonna go ride a horse and maybe rope some cattle.
Yeah.
Shoot some deer.
And then maybe after that, you can try and bring back the urban cowboy thing.
I mean, maybe. I feel like if anybody could bring it back, it would be me. I feel like I am an urban cowboy.
You're the rugged good looks of the urban cowboy.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that's. I don't know. My character on Red Dead Redemption looks a lot like me, with his hairstyle and his beard style.
I think I think going to Texas right after a huge round of Red Dead Redemption for you was like.
I'm lucky nobody got shot. I'm just lucky nobody got shot. Thank God nobody gave me a gun. I would have just gone crazy.
Gonna shoot the gunsmith?
Yes.
What'd he do? He was there.
No, he's got an illegal poker game upstairs. I was just gonna rob the poker game, and then I lassoed the wrong person, and $700 worth of bounty later. It's a problem.
Oh man.
Anyway, that's Red Dead Redemption talk. Anyway, so but Thanksgiving was great. It was great to meet people. It was great to be in El Paso. I really enjoyed it. I recommend everybody travel there. You had the sibling rivalry that went to. By the way, missed Brendan on both ends by like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Which also made the longest weekend of Corey's life.
Yeah, which also mean I drove to and from LAX 8 different times.
What I would say is, in the future, we should really communicate better.
Well, so here's the other thing, too. Rachel went with me to pick up Brendan and to pick up you guys.
Yes.
Mostly because you don't have to pay any tolls if you have HOV people in the express lane.
Or if you have the Fast Pass.
Well, I mean, with the Fast Pass and the HOV, is $0 in tolls.
If you could say I'm at 2+.
Right. So Rachel graciously agreed to go with me on both times. But then she was also like, like, oh, the plane lands at 6:30, so we have to leave here by 5:45. And I'm like, no, I want to be on the road. I want to be on the 105 when they land. That would be the best case scenario.
See,
If I'm like at the
wait,
110,
when we land, no.
if I'm at the 110, 105 interchange by the time you land, then the remaining 20 minutes or so that'll take me to get to LAX is usually the amount of time it'll take for you to get out of the airport.
But we were in the reserve southern terminal, which is only American Eagle. So
is that the
leaving
one that's like in the middle of everything?
Yes,
Or like,
and you have to take a bus.
Yeah.
And like your bus is passing planes on the tarmac.
Right.
Yeah, and it's scary as shit. That's the one we were at. Yeah.
I was saying to Rachel, like when she was giving me the pieces of information that she thought that was going to help her cause of me leaving earlier.
Yes.
And then like
Not waiting for her.
We're on the 110 and she's just like, oh, they're waiting for the bus to get from their terminal. I'm just like, I know exactly what fucking terminal they're in.
Yes.
There's no way they're
We're in the worst fucking terminal ever.
Because here's the problem with LAX. You can go right in. Like you can take the highway and then get off and get on Sepulveda and get into LAX.
Yeah.
And it's annoying, but it's easy enough. But the problem is if the person isn't there, you have to do this. I have to drive 20 miles away from the airport and find some place to park.
Yes.
And then start heading back.
Yes.
And then that's when it becomes complicated. That's why I don't want to I would rather... I think I could have left when you told us that you landed.
Probably
I think that's
so.
probably the best time to have left.
Yeah. So did you guys go to the cell phone lot?
No.
Just made your way in.
Yeah, well, we just went to, to the area of LAX, and then I didn't get on Sepulveda. I just sort of drove around randomly.
Oh, okay. All right.
Until eventually I heard that you were there.
Yeah. So we were, for anybody who knows LAX, we were in... Corey he does have a man bun. Ashley is watching in the chat. For those of you who are listening to this on recording and not live on Facebook.com/O The Anthem, which you should be, you can join us in the chat. Ashley is with us, fan of the show, Ashley, in the chat, asking if Corey has a man bun now. Currently, it's not in the form of a man bun.
No, it's just long. See, so when I take the headphones and I just sort of like push it back.
Yeah.
So when it does that, it creates that sort of like
however
heavy effect up here. But I
wait.
can definitely man bun it.
Yes, and he was man bunning it all weekend long.
Well, when I'm cleaning and the hair goes in your face and it's really annoying. I know a lot of the women know what I'm talking about. When the hair just like falls down, you need to get it out of your face. So that's what I do. I just man bun it up.
Alternatively, I have a plan.
Cut my hair?
Cut your hair. Yes. By the way, I not sponsoring the show at all. Let me get down here. Not sponsoring the show, but shout out to Great Clips. Let's pull this up. Let me get my.
Is everyone gonna be able to steal your?
So I paid for 10 haircuts in advance, and I get a card where every haircut is $10.99.
Yeah.
If you pay for 10 in advance.
Yeah.
So if at any point you would like to go to Great Clips, I'll even give you one on me. I'll give you one on me. The tip is on you, and you better tip well because those ladies they take care of me.
Are struggling to get by.
They are, and I'm already. Oh God, Ashley's in support of the man bun. Sorry, Ashley. A nice yes, honey. I enjoyed that. Ashley also has a man bun rocking right now.
Yeah.
So good for you. Good for you, Ashley. But no.
It's when your hair gets to a certain length, it's the only way to operate.
Get a haircut, hippie.
I like it.
Nobody likes it.
That's not true. People like it.
You can't be comfortable. It's got to be hot and annoying.
Well, yeah, but then I'm going to get home to Maryland, and aren't I going to be glad I have a lot of hair?
I mean, or you could just put on a hat like I'm going to do.
Hat doesn't make you warm.
Yeah, it does. Sure.
No, it
sure it
doesn't.
does. Sure it does.
I mean, if you get one of those Elmer Fudd hats.
Yeah. And then you get to wear one of those cool Russian hats. I mean, I feel like it's the best. Anyway, so, yeah, you made a lot of trips to the airport, but you gave you the fast pass, so, you know, that was fine.
That, by the way, is worth its weight in gold.
Yes.
Just being able to fast pass past all the all the traffic.
Yes.
Got it. It's LAX is. I'm sure. Real quick, just because I saw this a lot last week, and I wanted to make a note about it. there were a lot of people sharing videos of what LA traffic looks like right now, pre-Thanksgiving Day rush.
Yes.
And they're just showing like helicopter shots of like lines of white headlights and red taillights on opposite sides, and it just looks like it's nothing but a parking lot.
Yep.
But if you look carefully, those cars are actually moving.
Yes.
Very, very slowly, but moving. And the thing that most people don't understand is this is what it's like every single day.
I know you guys think it's bad. It's not that bad.
I was like watching these videos. I'm like, oh, it's Tuesday.
The
405's jammed up.
and also they always go to the 405.
Yeah.
It's always a parking lot on the 405. The 101 on Wednesday was amazing.
Yeah.
I got to work in like 4.5 minutes. I was like, what? Going across multiple lanes. I'm cruising at 80 miles an hour.
Yeah, it was like on the 10 when we went to Santa Monica and stuff like that. We're just like cruising along. I'm just like, this is wonderful.
Half the city's gone. Nobody actually from LA.
It'd be
so
wonderful if just 40% of the city decided to leave at Clips. Like,
or plague. I'm just saying, we don't have enough plagues. We need another plague. Cut down on this
I thought you were
population.
about to say guillotines.
I mean, guillotines also work, unfortunately. And most of the people on the road are the people I think probably deserve a guillotine. So, I mean, in the end, every guillotine is a solution for everything.
Moving on.
But anyway, so Thanksgiving was good here. Brendan was here. My whole point with that was we need to plan better. Because I did not get to see Brendan at all. Because we left, and then 3 hours later he arrived.
Yep.
And then he left, and 12 hours later. No, 10 hours later? He left first thing in the morning.
Yeah, he left early in the morning.
Yeah.
He was like there at 8.
And then we got in at 6. So, so about 10 hours later
Yeah.
we arrived. So, we got to plan those things better. That one I don't feel so bad on. The one I do feel bad on was Wednesday when our flight left at 2, and his got in at 4.
No, like 6 or something.
Oh, was it 6?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not so bad either.
And being able to leave and go back wasn't as bad as I thought it would. Like, my concern was that with it being Wednesday before Thanksgiving, it was going to be the worst day. Tuesday was probably actually the worst day.
Yeah, traffic-wise.
But like Wednesday, I was able to get back to downtown relatively quickly afterwards. And
Fast Pass. And by the way, 2 things, LA Transit. 1, can we put more Fast Pass lanes everywhere?
yeah.
I mean, honestly, I would get one if there was anywhere. I mean, I never go out east on the 10, which is where some of the lanes are.
Right.
The only other one is the 110, which is the place I don't use it, south
And then
of downtown.
there's like weird ones too. Like I remember I Fast Pass is the type of thing that I only think about after I'm stuck in the traffic.
Yes.
So like there's a lot of times where I was like up like going up the 5 and I'm like up near like Antelope Valley and stuff like that, and I'll see a Fast Pass thing and I'm just like, oh fuck,
I should have one of these. This would be good to. This
would be beneficial to me.
Works? Yeah.
I still have my Easy Pass in my trunk. I'm like thinking if I should just turn it back in.
Yeah, probably. Or take it with you.
I mean, they're never charging anymore. It
Yeah.
used to be like during the not after Ehrlich. O'Malley, of course.
Yes.
O'Malley did
yes.
the like $1 a month Easy Pass charge or something like that, which was fucked up.
Yeah, got rolled back by
Hogan.
now second-term Governor Hogan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like he made the Bay Bridge tolls less.
Yes.
And then I don't know anything else he did, but he's the best mayor in America.
You mean governor? Governor?
Yeah, governor in America.
Yes.
That's
Set up
a
to
lot.
Trump.
It's a lot of the Hogan people I talk to. It's just like the Bay Bridge toll went down. Yay, Hogan.
Yeah. Gas tax is down, and tolls went down everywhere. I
No
mean,
more stupid rain tax.
No more rain tax. But what was I gonna say? Oh, also, listen, LA Transit, 1, more Fast Pass lanes. That'd be great. Or 2, let's make it so our friends don't have to drop us off at the airport because I don't know, any form of public transportation drops off at the airport. I mean,
I was talking to the Michaels when I was on set recently about it because we were all having to do LAX runs at some point during the Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah.
And they were both saying like the worst part is when you're at LAX and you're trying to get an Uber, and as soon as the Uber driver or the Lyft driver realizes that they're going to LAX, they do that like, I'm gonna cancel on you or you're gonna cancel on me.
Yeah.
Like let's try and figure out some sort of way to cancel this trip because I don't want to get stuck in LAX terminal traffic for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Like you're eating up my ability to make another run by sitting in LAX traffic.
Yeah, but listen, man, I'm gonna tip you. Come on, man. But I mean, again, that's why and Uber and Lyft are horrible, by the way, also because you have to be at the upper level. Which who made that decision?
I don't
Who
know.
made the decision that drop-offs and pickoffs would all be at the place where people are trying to get to the airport? People are running late. They are trying to get to their planes. Isn't it better to put it at the level where, I don't know, everybody's just trying to get out and get home? Yeah, we're all motivated to get the fuck out of here. Let's do that.
I would love nothing more if there was just like, because I understand that, like, maybe you don't want to take like the metro ride all the way or something like that.
I would.
Oh, I know.
would.
I know there's a lot of people who would.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, I think that what's going to be a game changer for LAX is when they figure out not only the metro into LAX, but in addition, a metro stop that's like 2 away from LAX where you can drop people off.
Oh, yeah, just get up and
Yeah.
you drive me to this stop and I'll just jump on.
I'm going to take you to Compton and drop you off at the station.
Well, wait a second now. I didn't. I don't want to sign up for all that.
I'm going to take you to Hollywood Park. I'm
Okay,
going to
that's
drop you
probably right.
off
Yeah.
at the metro stop, and then you're going to take it the extra 2 stops.
And I'm
going to
miss my flight. I'm going to gamble all weekend, and you can pick me up there on Sunday. It'll be fine. I mean, I agree. And so I got spoiled by traveling a little bit where a place like Vancouver, which, by the way, shaped just like LAX, like a horseshoe.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's in the middle of the horseshoe?
What?
The fucking train. The train pulls up, and no matter where you step out of the airport, you're no more than 200 feet from the train stop. And you walk out, you cross over the traffic lanes, and go to the train.
So sometimes, what amazes me is the number of times where LA could have fixed this long ago.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to get the LAX thing at like 2020, 2021 or something like that.
Yeah.
The Crenshaw LAX line or whatever. But I keep saying, like, where was Bradley in like 1950 or something like that when they were starting to play at LAX and just going like, should we find some sort of train to bring people in? It's just like, no, people like their cars too much. They're going to really enjoy driving around the terminals. It's just like, you don't think there's any chance that it's going to get too crowded. It's like, too crowded in LA?
Yeah.
Where have you ever heard such nonsense?
Well, and of course, in that time, though, SNA, John Wayne, and Bob Hope, and LAX were probably all about the same size. So the idea, I think, was like, oh, well, people go to Burbank, they'll go to Orange County. They'll just be
I really
everywhere.
want to fly out of Burbank once just to see.
Yeah, if you could just make it less than 50% extra cost, I would love to fly out of Burbank.
I wish Burbank was my Dulles. Like,
I mean, Burbank is Dulles, basically.
Oh, I know, but I'm saying, like, I fly into Dulles for way cheaper than I fly into BWI.
Yes, yeah, like it's a pain in the ass to get to Burbank, so can we make it a little cheaper to get?
Yeah. I think that's the magic spot.
Except for the reason it's more expensive is because it's easier.
Yeah.
In reality, it's BWI. We just live in Northern Virginia.
Right.
So we have to get up to BWI to get out of there. That's the problem.
Airport talk.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, it was a good weekend. I hope you guys enjoyed following along on all the adventures and nonsense. Did you post anything anywhere? Rachel did.
Yeah.
Rachel posted a lot.
Well, Rachel's mom posted. Rachel texted her mom like pictures of the food and the turkey.
Yeah.
And like me cutting the turkey.
I saw that. Yeah.
And then her mom posted it all on Facebook, going like, "Rachel and Corey had a great Thanksgiving," and I'm just like,
doing too much, Mom. You're being a little extra.
I remember too. I was when Rachel was just like, "Here, look at me. I want to take a picture of you cutting the turkey. It's not for anything." And I'm just like, "Okay." And that's why I made a face. Like I was like, "Ah,
yeah, fuck this turkey." Yeah.
And then 20 minutes later, it shows up on Facebook. I'm just like, "Oh, fuck. All right."
Thanks.
Whatever.
Thanks, Mom. But it was it's very sweet. Also, she commented on Roxy's thing. I didn't know that she and Roxy were friends. I don't think they are, but I think Roxy's got that, like, if you're within one level of a friend of mine, you can see and comment, and so, that opens you up. So I'm just public on everything. You don't even have to follow me. You can just see everything at Rubber and Cheek everywhere. All right, anyway, so more stuff than what happened to us happened this weekend.
Yes. Lots more things happen than to the things that happened to us.
But a Ravens played a football game.
Yeah. Should we?
Yeah. Hang on a sec. Let me see where we are. I'm trying to do some math. I can't do anything and math at the same time. Okay. Yeah. We're good. Okay. All right. Do you mean sports ball?
Yep.
That's definitely the right thing. There we go.
We're back.
Hey, yes. Ravens played a football game this weekend.
Yes. Question for you, because it seems to be the one that's being posted to every Ravens fan right now.
Let him stay.
Let Lamar Jackson
Let
stay.
him stay. Yeah. I am totally ready for Lamar Jackson to be our Tom Brady, and for Joe Flacco to be our Drew Bledsoe.
I don't think it's a similar situation.
I think it is.
Now, I haven't been able to watch Lamar in real time actually play a football game yet. I've only seen highlights and the talk of others, so I'm a little bit not necessarily the person I think should be asked about this, but I will say this.
And that's sportsball.
of what I've seen, of what I've been told, it really does seem that Lamar Jackson is still a step behind the playbook.
Okay, well, yeah,
he still isn't quite ready to unleash the full playbook kind of thing.
Do you know who else was a step behind the playbook? Alex Smith, and it cost him his leg.
That's not true.
No, one of the things I heard this week was that actually Colt McCoy did not look bad for the Redskins.
Well, no, Colt
He's
McCoy
got
is
2 years extra work in the playbook.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just a matter of time. That's my point. You can't compare Lamar Jackson to Joe Flacco because one of them is a machine of nothing but sports skill, and the other one is Joe Flacco.
Of athletic prowess?
Yes. One man has athletic prowess just oozing out of him, and the other one has Ben Gay oozing out of him.
I think that it's going to be an something tells me Joe isn't ready to go this week. I think they find some way to buy another week.
Of course not. He's not going to be ready. Yeah. Oh, he's
but
listen, you got a little.
Well, there was some talk apparently. Harbaugh after the game saying we knew it was going to be a 3 to 4 week injury with Joe. It's like nobody said anything about 3 to 4 weeks prior to.
I thought you said that he might be ready next week when he injured it the first week. Here's the thing: do you think that Marty Morningweg, as well as killing the offense, could pull a Tanya Harding on Joe Flacco just to keep him out? Is he willing to take one for the team?
I think I think Marty Morningweg actually looks more like the guy who actually did the.
I know, right?
I can't remember that guy's name now. But the fat guy from I, Tonya.
Yes.
Where he's just like, I was in the CIA once. That's basically Marty Morningweg. Marty Morningweg is like that guy plus a little bit of he's already got this Alex Jones feel. I feel you look at him and you're just like, that's a man who's not right. And then you would go up and talk to him and you just be like,
yep.
Hey, Marty, what do you think about the idea of play action? Play action was invented by aliens and turns frogs gay. I'm just like, wow, all right. I guess we know where you stand.
Yep. And he's sitting in John Harbaugh's office right now saying, listen, John, it'd be no problem. I was in the CIA. I've done hits many, many times. All right. He needs to stay out a few more weeks. He'll stay out a few more weeks. We'll make sure.
All we need to do is tell him that there's some pass interference happening, and then he'll go to it. He'll go to that place, and then bam, car. Run down in the parking lot. When you tell him there's a pass interference in the parking lot, he'll go running.
I'm picturing Marty Morningweg in one of those golf carts trying to run down Joe Flacco in the parking lot of M&T Bank Stadium. Marty? Is that you? What's going on?
Joe just casually climbing on top of Marty, get off the gas. I'm riding on top of the hood. Just go down already, Joe. This will be quicker if you just give in. Like that episode of South Park where they're hitting him with the wiffle ball bat.
Just give into the darkness. It's fine. So all jokes aside, I think that we should, put Joe Flacco out to the pasture.
I'm not ready to say that. I think that Joe might get another start before this is all said and done.
When's his
I will
contract
say
up?
this year.
Oh, good. All right.
I will say this, though. And then I'm not just saying this because I started on my fantasy team with spectacular results, but I think Gus Edwards needs to get more play.
Who the hell is Gus Edwards?
He is a running back who was on the practice squad up until he sort of had bits and little plays here and there.
Mm-hmm.
But last week was his coming out party where he rushed for 120 yards and then did 118 this week.
Okay.
But I did the same thing last week when I saw it. I was like, who the fuck is this guy?
Wait,
But-
does he have a picture on Yahoo?
No,
Fantasy?
he does not.
I have 2 people on my team who are just the icon, and I'm like, oh, all right. That's where you get when you have 14 team leagues.
Yeah.
We're just getting deep into the injuries, into the unknown players. Yeah,
I was so happy I picked him up, though.
Okay, he did well for you.
He did all right. Probably would have been better if I started other people. But, it's okay. You can't. Sometimes.
How many touchdowns with that 118 yards?
What?
Did he get a touchdown?
No. Fortunately not. He did last week, though.
Yeah.
But still, you can't look a gift 11 points in the face.
Sure.
11.8
How many points
points.
did you have on the bench from that position?
16.
Yeah, I mean you kind of can. You kind of can. Look, gift horse in the mouth. Anyway, yeah, Ravens. I mean, we're not going to make the playoffs this year, right?
I mean, we're the 6th seed right now.
I mean,
And
come on.
everyone in the AFC looks like horrible dogfish garbage. Dogfish. I don't
Dogfish,
know.
dogfish, dogfish
Dog
garbage
shit
is
garbage.
By the way, Brendan, dogfish garbage is what you left in my fridge. All right, IPA. Who do you think you are? Dogfish IPA. Come on.
Me and Brendan had multiple conversations where I was making fun of like snooty beer people,
Yes.
and then you could see how offended he was.
Because he's a snooty beer person.
Well, I kept doing the like walking up to the bartender at like the snooty IPA bar.
Yeah.
And just like, this one is made of moose drool and mixed with different fig leaves and brewed in a coffee container for 9.5 months. And then Brendan was just like, that's very insulting to me.
And then he sipped the beer made of moose tears that was brewed in a bin.
I feel like I'm personally attacked.
Yes, because you're a snooty beer person. Listen, I can't say that for sure because I haven't drank around.
Is a snooty beer person.
Yeah, all I can say is I've seen the beer that's in the fridge right now, and damn sure ain't American beer.
You know he's a snooty beer person because he's got the Untapped app.
Does he?
All the medals and stuff like that.
What has San Francisco done to you?
You poor boy. What happened to my beautiful baby boy?
But yeah. Any other Mike Elias told his first lie as the Orioles GM because he walked into the clubhouse, looked around, came back out to talk to the press, and said, "I think we got a lot of good players here. This is a good team."
Chris Davis saunters by. He's like, "I take everything back." My favorite was the Orioles hired somebody who used to work at NASA.
Yes.
So the Justin Fenton tweet was, so I assume the only reason they were brought into the job is to learn how to launch Chris Davis into space.
I mean, I can't tell you that's not probably a good use of money because we can't get out of that contract. That's for sure.
If he's in space, then we technically get to wash it off on the books, right?
I feel right. Yeah, I feel like you don't.
This is like if you have an injury, like if an injury ends your career, then insurance pays for the length of the contract.
Right. Yeah. So, but I mean, does that still come off of your salary cap?
No.
Right.
Well, I mean, there's no salary cap, but I mean, like.
You're like the luxury tax.
Yeah, I think it's just clear money.
Right. The insurance pays it all out.
Yeah.
It's not on our books anymore.
Right.
Yeah. Or okay, so alternative Marty Morningweg. Maybe we pull a Nancy Kerrigan on Chris Davis, and then we all get out of it. You know?
Wouldn't it be nice in the
2 for
spirit of bipartisanship
Yeah.
if the Orioles, if Mike Elias would go take out Joe Flacco, Marty Morningweg would take out Chris Davis.
I
And,
feel
we could
like
have,
I
a
read
washing
about-
of the hands.
I read about this in law school about 2 wives who did this to each other's husbands, and they thought they were going to get away with it. It did not work out well for them, if I remember correctly. So I wouldn't do that.
No,
especially because Mike Elias is just starting out. So.
But you under the way I just set up the story, though, it sounds like they planned it. It wasn't planned. It just happened.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just...
Yeah, and Tekashi 6ix9ine just happens to be a rapper.
going
and
away
also into blood.
forever.
Yeah, so by the way, if anybody's following that story, Tekashi 6ix9ine, Dummy Boy, will be out very shortly. I might have information about that.
Really?
Anyway, so he had his plea. He put in his plea today.
Yeah.
Pled not guilty. They're looking at trial in September of 2019, which means he's going to be locked up for 10 months pending trial. So if he wasn't going to testify, he damn sure is going to testify now. Can you imagine being like
what they're trying to? Are they just trying to get him to roll on
Yeah,
somebody
they're trying to
else?
get him to roll. He's the only one who's not like a blooded in blood. So of course, they just wanted to roll over. He's got nothing to lose. I mean, for all intents and purposes, the guy who's like, yeah, man, they're all killers and I'm a killer too. That guy's probably not a killer. They are probably killers, but he's probably not a killer. So
a good way to get somebody to roll is to is to charge them with things that'll put them away for 32 to life.
Yes. Yeah.
That's
make them sit in jail without protection for 10 months. So there's that too. But yeah,
I'd still like him to do some jail time because fuck Tekashi 6ix9ine.
I mean, he's probably going to do a lot of jail time. But so I read an interesting summary that said that it's actually not about the
I would like I would like it if the judge just like gives like probation. Gives probation, or like releases him on bond essentially, and he's just like, all right, here's the terms of your release. You're not allowed to be in association with any of these number of people. Yeah. You're not allowed to leave the state, and you're not allowed to make music because you're not allowed to commit crimes on other people while you're currently on bail. Yes. I'm not allowing you to commit any more crimes. It's crimes to ears, what you commit every single day.
Ironically, count 1 of the indictment says that they are furthering their criminal enterprise using Tekashi's music. So actually, his music is a crime.
Great.
So, that's why they
about time somebody recognizes.
That's why they seized all of his money because they said it's part of a crime. But what the best description I heard of it is basically that we have accepted as a society that there will be drug dealing in the city of New York.
Yeah.
We've accepted that the gangs are going to be the people who sell the drugs.
Okay.
The problem is that if you sell $1,000 worth of heroin, that your overhead's basically $900. When you talk about buying the heroin, paying the people, everybody takes a cut. Yeah. And then just general overhead, like any business, takes away 90% of the profit, right? So what you have in Tekashi is a guy who has profit from outside of the drug industry, who's just dumping money into this gang, and he's offset the balance. And basically all the feds want is not to stop the dealing of drugs or the gang violence in New York, but to merely go back to the status quo, where everybody's got some guns and there's some violence, but it's a minimal amount, and we can all live with that. That's what they want. So I thought that was interesting, and it's probably not incorrect. Because their focus, have you heard anything about his co-defendants at all?
I mean, I heard, I remember I read a story about this, I guess, like right after we wrapped the podcast last week or something like that, is when the story, it was like the day after where it started really dawning. And I'm just like reading some of the things that have led to the charges, the stories that have led to the charges. And I'm just like, what the fuck are you thinking, man? Yeah. What the fuck?
He ordered a hit on Instagram Live.
Yeah. Some guy in the Barclays Center, like.
Oh, no, that was different.
Okay. Oh, no, that's a different one. But I'm saying, like.
He asked his buddy to shoot the guy at the Barclays Center. Yeah. Then on Instagram Live later, he was just like, oh, no, I know where you live. Don't worry about it. I know where you live. And he hangs up on the guy while his friend is recording him on Instagram Live. And he says, yo, 30 rack on the head. I swear to God. On God, 30 rack for his head. I'm like, you're on Instagram. You are on Instagram, and you're just like, yo, $30,000 to kill this guy. By the way, it's really funny if that ever gets to trial because Ravens at 6-5 in the wild card.
There's a lot of teams that are 5-6, and the Colts are 6-5. But I mean, like, none of those teams are really great either. The Bengals are without Andy Dalton now. Dolphins are the Dolphins. Broncos are Broncos. Titans are Titans. Yeah. So I mean, like, we're still in it.
Yeah. But yeah. So the what was I saying? Shit.
Tekashi.
Yeah, he ordered a hit on. Like, how dumb do you have to be? Like, to order a hit on somebody and yeah. So, I mean, it is what it is. But go listen to his music. A couple of Spotify spins won't hurt anybody. Sure. It's Takeshi, the number 6 IX, the number 9 INE. Tekashi 6ix9ine.
I just really hope that a lot of people like have a awakening with this. It would make me feel better if people would wake up in the morning and say like, what have I been doing with my life?
That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen.
You can hope.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about Tekashi 6ix9ine. I'm talking about all the people who listen to his music. Mm-hmm.
But Dummy Boy was supposed to be out last Friday. Maybe it comes out soon. Just saying. Maybe it does. Anyway, trying to think. What do we have time for? Do you want to go to Baltimore? We'll skip the other stuff. All right. So, there's a migrant caravan. We were so worried about it. We put troops on the border.
Yeah.
Luckily, those guys are still there to stop the migrant caravan from.
No, they got pulled because it was all a political stunt.
Yeah. Because right after the election, we didn't.
And then right after, I feel like the better version of the story is coming a week from now.
Yeah.
Just because most of this happened yesterday.
I also think that the whole caravan's not there yet. This is just like the first.
I don't feel like there's way too many things with this story that aren't adding up to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not trying to sound like there's like some conspiracy that needs to be opened or something like that. But like there's way too much of each side trying to get their story out there right now.
Yeah.
And not enough of what actually happened.
I mean, I think it's pretty clear that we...
well, I mean, like, there's the violent gang. There's the side that's like, the right side, which is the violent gang that overthrew Mexican authorities.
Yeah.
And charged at the border and left the American authorities with no choice but to use the tear gas.
Yeah. Tear gas, which we fired into Mexico,
right?
By the way, which would be, by my token, an act of war.
Yeah.
We fired a weapon of war that's banned by the Geneva Convention.
I mean, that's basically why we took down Assad, is because of tear gas, too.
Yeah.
And other chemical weapons.
Yeah.
But regardless, and then there's the left side, which is just like, there's women and children who are getting tear gassed to death. And I'm just like, did anyone die? It's like, but
people got trampled.
There's a lot of things to sort out here.
Yes.
And maybe next week would be the better time to do that.
I agree. I think there's just literally it happened today. So
yeah,
like,
or yesterday, I think.
No, well, there was more stuff today. I watched some live video today. So I think that most of the caravan's not there. This is just kind of the first. It's like a wave crashing, and this is the first small one, and it'll be a couple small ones, and then the big one gets there.
Yeah,
and we'll see what happens. Trump is threatening to shut down the government unless he gets his border wall. I don't know that he knows how long it takes to build a wall, and I'm thinking he might think that this is a solution to the migrant caravan problem.
I also think he thinks that a lame duck will be able to handle all this.
Yes.
When so many people who lost their seats are not interested in doing anything.
Why would I fucking help Trump at this point? Especially most of them who lost, according to Trump, lost because they didn't back him.
Right.
So after hearing that, why would you then back him? Well, I mean, for the Senate candidates.
By the way, the total we're at right now is 38 seats for
yes.
the Democrats.
And there's still
I had predicted 40. Yes. You had predicted like what?
20.
20?
Yep.
So a little bit closer to me.
A lot closer to you.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Was there a fist fight?
Yeah. Leonard Fournette is suspended.
Oh, man. How about
I like
that?
all those respectful Bills fans that were just like, let them sort it out.
Don't get involved. Okay, so Trump is threatening to shut down the government again. I don't know if he understands how lame ducks work. I don't know if he understands how budgeting works. At this point, I am not comfortable saying anything that Trump is actually good at with government. Because we know that for sure.
No.
For sure, on another quick topic, he's not good with climate change because 1,000-person group with including 300 scientists.
Within his own government.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, some of them weren't in the government, so maybe that's his consolation is that, hey, half of those guys weren't even in the government. But 1,000 people came together, and they agreed for the second time since 2017 that we are doing massive damage and that the only explanation is human interference.
Right.
Did you read any of the report?
Not specifically. I just saw the
See,
basic.
I didn't even hear the story. Well, I heard the story, but I didn't read anything. But I thought you read the report, so I went and during my evening constitution, read some of the report. Startling stuff.
Yeah,
startling stuff.
It tried to hit Trump where hopefully he would care about this. Where it's like this is going to end up costing American business billions of dollars, and America
Farmers
billions of dollars.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't believe it. And on a side note, we can get into more details later because I'm sure there's going to be a second turn to this one.
Yeah, no, did that come out? That was the Friday dump before Thanksgiving, right?
After Thanksgiving. Yeah, Friday dump during the Thanksgiving break.
Yeah. So I do feel like that we'll get back around to that.
He's gonna on Twitter on Thursday or something like that.
Yeah.
Just be like, nobody knows anything about climate change except for me. We all know the world isn't getting hotter, so fuck you. And then like, we're gonna have another couple days of like, Adam Schiff going like the attitude that Trump has shown towards climate change, fucking ridiculous, and I can't believe it.
In the end,
I'm the head of those.
Yeah. GM announced today that they were closing 5 plants and 14,000 jobs are going away. And I do think that when I saw that, I said, somehow Trump is going to circle this around to climate change. And I don't know how he's going to do it. Like, maybe we're better off. Oh, hey, we're addressing our climate change problem because there will be less cars on the road because GM will be producing less cars. Like that, in my mind, that feels like a Trump. That feels like a Trump argument, right?
Yeah,
GM's producing less cars. There's less cars on the road. Climate change solved.
See, but I don't think that helps him.
I mean, I guess not, because his whole thing is like,
yeah, like we need more jobs. Like
right? Are those jobs
much
in
like
America?
coal? Like yeah, I mean, like Youngstown, Ohio is closing.
Oh, jeez.
Plant in White Marsh is closing.
White Marsh, Maryland.
Yeah,
Oh.
there's like 6 different plants that are closing.
I thought somebody again. I didn't read the. I was talking about the story with coworkers. I thought they said it was all Canadian plants. But
No, there are Canadian plants. There are other plants, but there's 6 American ones, I think.
Super.
If I'm correct in that number.
Good job.
But
Well, I mean,
it's 15% of their workforce.
Yeah,
is
we're-
getting laid off.
we're making America great again. Clearly, expanding, and the economy's never been stronger, and all
I
of
mean,
those
at
things.
the end of the day, with the climate change stuff especially, like, it's not quite the same as it was when it was a pipe dream.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you can buy a solar panel that you could charge your phone with for $20.
Listen, stop letting them personalize climate change.
No, but
There are 71 companies who are carrying out 99% of the pollution right now.
oh yeah.
That's what we need to address. Look, me charging my cell phone on a solar panel instead of the plug does 0 for carbon.
No.
footprint.
I get you. The first step is definitely getting all the companies that are committing all the acts to actually like clean up and do the right part.
Hey,
like,
do you know how we do
Nestle has completely stolen all the water
Yes.
in California, has stolen water in Michigan, pays nothing for it.
Oh, by
except
the
for
way-
the political favors that they use to get these sweetheart deals.
You know what we learned? It takes 40 bottles of water to cook a Thanksgiving turkey or a Thanksgiving dinner. Do you know
Yeah.
how we learned that?
because Flint.
Because Flint doesn't have clean water yet. So they're cooking Thanksgiving dinner with bottled water.
Yeah.
Flint doesn't have clean water.
I
I can't. But by the way, you know how we solve this problem with the companies, 71 companies? You know how we get them to get in line?
guillotines.
Guillotines! You're coming around, Corey. I can sense it that you're coming around.
It's one of those. I think what we really need is we need the Bible of the good businesses and the bad businesses, because I think that a lot of people they want to do the right thing. They want to support people who do it the right way, per se. And just because a company is big doesn't necessarily mean that they're evil. You know what I mean?
I mean, I disagree.
No,
I think
but
big companies are inherently evil.
I'm saying there's a difference between a Walmart, which is a big company that's evil, and just to put it in the same field, like Sam's Club, which has traditionally been very good to its employees and it pays everyone way above minimum. Costco, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Sam's Club.
Sam's Club is
Part
owned
of
by
Walmart.
Walmart. That's
Yes.
right.
Part of
Costco
Walmart.
is the one I'm thinking
Yes.
of.
Yeah.
But have traditionally always treated their employees well and have done everything like that you would expect a big company to do. And how to treat
20%
it.
the size of Walmart, by the way.
Right.
20% the size. So they're not comparable businesses. They are in the same market.
Same field.
Yes. they're in the
Yes,
same
but
field.
I'm saying that if Walmart did the same thing, then we wouldn't necessarily think of Walmart as like the bad guys per se.
Yes.
Even though they had just had a really good business that was was able to succeed even with taking care of everybody.
Yeah,
But, like, once
$15 an
you-
hour in benefits.
Once you take away once you're Nestle taking all the water from California and Michigan and anywhere else where you're bottling, then you can't just make up for that. You
Yes.
know, there has to be a water company though that is doing a better thing.
I mean, Fiji?
Maybe I don't know.
Because it's not actually Fiji water. They lie to the people who buy it.
Yeah.
But when they bottle it, they actually are. But I don't know, maybe. I feel like Fiji's probably.
Or we
owned
don't
by-
need bottled water. I mean, really, like.
By the way, watch any episode of Adam Ruins Everything because I've realized I am Adam from Adam Ruins Everything. The other thing is like glasses. You feel like you have an option when it comes to glasses, but it turns out one company owns all of the eye places and all of the glasses companies.
The other one I like is mattresses.
Oh yeah.
Where
Definitely a front. It's all a front. For
well, no. It's not that it's like a front per se. It's just that if you go online, you can't trust any reviews because every single mattress review site is owned by like a mattress company.
Yes. Yeah.
So like if you go onto like some website and it's just like Sleep Number is the best, everyone else sucks. Like look at all these reviews from the other mattress providers.
Yeah.
Then you'll find out that company that you think like mattressreviews.com or something like that is owned by
a Sleep Number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like that's the one that has managed to like escape everybody to a degree.
Yeah.
Like this like secret underground rating system on mattresses.
You know how we could solve this?
Guillotines?
Guillotines. Speaking of horrible corporations, though, and getting more in tune, let's talk about CSX and how they're impacting our favorite hometown in the Baltimore corner.
Where you get the straight dupe?
Mm-hmm. So, 2 years ago? No, more than that. 4 years ago. 2014,
like
right?
Yeah, I think so.
It had to be while we were doing the podcast, so it had to be since then. Infamously and notoriously, a huge piece of 23rd Street, 32nd Street, 23rd.
No.
32nd?
It was in the 30s.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly, though.
Maybe it's higher than that. It's in Northwest Baltimore, though.
Yeah.
It was up where EP was living, right?
And, like, Hamden?
She wasn't like northwest of Hamden.
Mount Washington?
Mount Washington.
Yeah.
An entire hillside
Which isn't
collapsed.
quite northwest, but...
Yeah. Nonetheless.
Yeah.
An entire hillside collapsed. Sidewalk collapsed. A retaining wall collapsed. A hill collapsed. And I think it like damaged cars, right? It went down the hill, and it was like a mudslide down the hill and damaged some cars.
Mm-hmm.
And come to find out, CSX, which ran a tunnel directly under that spot, was not to blame for that, despite how it may seem that they are to blame for that. Now, another section of that very street looks to be damaged and collapsing. And the CSX tunnel, which runs underneath it, also not to blame this time. You have to ask yourself, one, Baltimore is not a city that's got money to be thrown around to fix problems, you know?
Now with our $45 million in police overtime for fiscal year 19.
Yes. That's a lot of collapsing sidewalks that you could fix with that, I
Yeah.
think. But nonetheless, so at what point does CSX have to step up and actually, repair something?
Never?
I mean, probably never. That's the end result of this is probably never. Should they? Absolutely. 100%. But they won't. So now the citizens of not north of Baltimore, I guess. North Baltimore?
Northern Baltimore.
Northern Baltimore, is
Yeah.
that what you would say?
Yeah.
Are going to be paying the price. And I don't know if I don't think that there's any houses there, right? It's kind of like just a road. It's like a street.
Well, there's houses right across the street.
Yeah, but where it's collapsing is across the street from the houses.
Yeah, but
Well,
I mean,
I'm
like
sure those houses
the
are
last
fine.
time, a lot of those houses got ruined and destroyed because it actually caved in. The whole
that's
road
right.
did.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But I'm sure Baltimore will be fine. I'm sure you guys will be totally okay.
Well, we have a new police commissioner, so
Well, not exactly. The mayor has named her choice for a police commissioner. And you know what I'd like to see when we name a police commissioner is that guy quits his job and gets ready to become the police commissioner of Baltimore. So clearly that's what the police commissioner of Fort Worth did. No,
sorry.
Yeah. Instead, what he did was announce that he would not be giving up his job. He would not be giving up his job in Fort Worth until he was confirmed by the city council.
Yeah.
Which maybe gives me pause that perhaps he doesn't think that he's going to be approved by the city council.
Something tells me that a couple of people in the city council probably said, "You're not an automatic."
Yeah.
When he came in to meet with them the other day, and he said, "Oh shit, maybe I shouldn't quit my current job."
Keep the job you have. You know what I mean,
Because
bruh?
perhaps I also find that I'm not saying that this is the case with Joel Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
Potential future Baltimore City Police Commissioner, but I find that people who get worried about like the city council like investigating them and like digging it up are also worried that they're gonna find the one thing that like he's been secretly worried about this whole time.
Yeah, I got a big skeleton in that closet.
Yeah.
It's real deep in the closet, but I'm hoping.
I mean, I was never written on that report where I assassinated that kid on the street, but
everybody knows I was there.
Something tells me that this is the time where that's going to pop up.
Yes.
But I can't say anything about it because then I won't get the job. But maybe if I sneak in without...
So instead, I'll just wait and I'll hope.
And just hope it never gets found.
And I'll not give up my current job where I'm under contract until I'm for sure in the new job where I'll be under contract.
Yeah.
Because that's how we do it in Baltimore. I can't think of a worse way to conduct ourselves as a city. And yet, here we are.
Yeah.
This is what we do.
Hooray. I feel like at any point, Catherine Pugh could have done this better.
Oh, at every point, she could have done this better. How about this? Anything in the city could be better than it is right now.
I mean, like, I think about it like this. So I know there's a lot of controversy about this in retrospect, but the Christine Blasey Ford thing started coming out. Like, she started reaching out to people when when Kavanaugh's name was announced as a possible candidate, and that it was all secret up until closer to the confirmation. But the idea being that like it wasn't until the name was put out there that people could start investigating as to whether or not there was anything untoward that was happening.
And by the way, had Trump not rushed, maybe this thing about Kavanaugh would have come out and he wouldn't have been the nominee. It would have been like, here's the short list of 5, not this is the guy.
Yeah.
This is the guy.
Right. But I'm saying if at some point Pugh had just sort of said, here's my short list of 20 names, and then just allowed people to investigate on their own.
Or, and
talk
then to the city council.
Yeah, or just be like, here's the 20 here's the 20 names I'm thinking about releasing. Let's sort of like put them publicly out there and see how the people react to it, and see if any skeletons come out, if we need to eliminate anybody off that list. Like, now would be a good time rather than just like, hey, I made the pick. Because you're putting an awful lot on your ability to get it right, and you haven't proven that you're able to get it right.
On literally anything. Nothing at all. On the plus side, here in LA, we're going to get a wonderful new building, 2 blocks away? First and Spring?
Grand?
First and Grand. Snuck in that bribe right at the last minute before Jose Rizar.
Right before everyone went down.
Luckily, though, all the permits have been approved, so that building's going up no matter what you have to do.
Well, we've already started tearing down a garage, so we can't do anything about it now. Sorry.
Do you know how hard it is to demolish things in LA? If this is coming down, we need to put a building up here, or the homeless will move in. Do you not understand that?
I like how LA has like a 9-year process of getting things done because like everyone starts suing, and then there's a point where the suing stops,
and we just let it go.
It's just like, happen. All right, we've put it through the initial round of discussion in the city council. Now starts the 9-year process of everyone suing each other.
Okay, and do we wrap up the lawsuits? Are wrapped up. Okay, it's all approved. We're gonna go ahead and move forward now.
Now we can officially say yes,
and we'll boot out all the homeless who moved in.
The Bunker Hill Neighborhood Association has sued us over environmental complaints.
Yes.
We can move on to. That's why, like, I have yet to find anyone who can explain to me why this is the best process for LA moving forward. Where it's just like, oh yeah, we just finished a bike lane. It cost $25 million, and I'm just like, well, how the hell did it cost $25 million? It's like, well, the new paint cost $100, and the new concrete that we had to lay, that was actually kind of expensive. That was $5,000. We had to go over some parts of the road that we hadn't planned on going over.
Yeah.
And then the other $25 million is that we kept getting sued.
Yeah. By everyone. By everyone.
Everyone sued us.
Yeah.
So the outside counsel, for which we paid $25 million to handle all this, took some time. And now that it's all cleared, we can spend the $5,000 that we were going to spend on the bike lane. Now it's up.
You know what's a good solution for this?
What?
Guillotines, man. Come on. It's always the answer. Always the answer. It fixes everything. Or, Cal Exit. Cal Exit would be great.
Yeah, we got.
Although I don't know if that makes it better or worse.
We did. We got someone from Cal Exit reached out to us, so we might do that at some point.
I'm very excited. I would really like to speak to somebody from Cal Exit, see what their plan of attack is. I spoke to some people from Texas about Cal Exit.
Yeah,
got their perspective. I think it's going to help me with some question asking.
Did you ever listen to that one Malcolm Gladwell podcast about how Texas could have removed itself from the Union?
They have an out in their constitution.
Yeah.
I learned about that while discussing Cal Exit. And the whole thing about, you guys don't even have that. But do you think the U.S. would let us leave? Yeah. Did you know about that? I had no idea until this weekend.
Yeah, I heard about it because they had the whole Democratic side of the Texas House 20 years ago or something like that, left.
And they went to Oklahoma.
They went to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And they couldn't have a quorum because they weren't there. And the whole discussion was whether or not to secede from the Union because Texas was the only state that could do it without it going up to a vote in front of the House of Representatives.
Yes, because the original bill, which accepted Texas into the Union, said that so long as it's not joining another country, if it's going back to being a republic, it would be allowed to leave. Which apparently, I don't know how that survived the post-Confederate Constitution. But maybe because parts of Texas stayed loyal? I don't know.
Well, was all of Texas already squared away by the time the Civil War was over? Because I feel like there were still parts that were Mexico.
No. Mexico situation had been solved, but there were parts of West Texas that stayed loyal to the north.
Yeah,
there was actually some infight, Missouri and West Texas and West Virginia. Obviously, there were places where there was fighting inside of states because other parts stayed loyal. But West Texas, which, by the way, I saw a cotton field.
Yeah,
I've lived on the East Coast my entire life. Never seen a cotton field. Saw one in Texas at Thanksgiving. It's amazing. But back then, you couldn't raise cotton in West Texas. It's a different kind of cotton. So in the 1800s, it was only in the swampy East Texas. So when they were trying to defend this whole slave culture, West Texas was like, listen, I got no need for any of this nonsense. So you guys are trying to leave the Union. We're not about that life.
Yeah.
And there was actually, again, according to people who I was talking to this weekend, there were two Texas governments who got the that El Paso.
Who also got the El Paso thing wrong.
But I mean, in the zone, top 5 versus whatever. But they said that there was two Texas governments at the time.
How many cities? If we asked Rachel how many cities in Texas she can name, how many do you think she'd get?
That's not even fair. Probably three.
I think she'd go a little bit deeper, but I think El Paso would probably be the smallest of the...
I think that she would only know El Paso because we've been talking about it so much. She would know Dallas and Houston.
Yeah.
I'm not sure she can name another city in...
We're going to test her when she gets home.
Okay, yes. And we'll upload the video someplace. I don't know. Where would we be able to upload that kind of video?
Instagram, perhaps?
Yeah. Or maybe Twitter. Or is there a website or something we could...
Oh, I got a place.
Yeah.
OTheanthem.com. Corey to OTheanthem.com. O The Anthem on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and the listener line 443-219-7595.
What's the number again?
443-219-7595. And you can find more of me at my website, CoreyBakerFilmmaker.com, Facebook.com/CoreyBakerFilm, at LegendCB5 on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. Last week was off because of the Thanksgiving Day holiday on the Thursday. But I am definitely gonna go see a movie tomorrow. I don't give a shit. I'm going even if I have to go in the middle of the day. Oh, I can't because I have
You're working.
I have to be on set. Shit.
Yeah.
Ah, fuck.
Maybe tomorrow night.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But there's many movies to see. So if there's something that you would like to hear a review about in particular, whether it be Creed 2 or any number of the movies that are out currently.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of other ones.
Fantastic Beasts.
Oh, yeah, Fantastic Beasts. And what's the other one? Another one that came out on this Thanksgiving holiday. No. Anyway.
Yeah.
Some review Thursday. Enjoy it. And
Go watch.
Go watch.
And, of course, you can find more of me at Robert N. Cheek on all your social networks, just like it says there. Check out robertncheek.com, where you can find links to my political blog, the news website, and the books, which are available on Amazon.
Buy Rob's books.
Thank you, sir. Is that everything? Yeah.
Well,
I go through it so like absent-mindedly now that I don't really even think about it. I'm just like da 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 da. Yeah, that's it.
well,
Okay.
there is this. I think we did good here today.
We've done something. I don't know if it's good. You know how we could do better?
Win fantasy matchups.
Well, that's probably a little far-fetched. Guillotines! But as always, you're listening to the O The Anthem podcast, part of the O The Anthem Digital Network. For Corey, this is Rob. Have a great week, everybody.
I don't know if I have anything to add. They're just showing Titans highlights, and I don't know I can handle this.
No, can't. Certainly can't. Well, your fantasy football season's over, but I'll carry your spirit into the playoffs.
Bum, 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 bum.